Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Today, we're tackling a question that we're hearing a lot more lately, which is, how do I optimize my website for ChatGPT? So first, let's introduce ourselves for those of you that may be new here. I'm Brittney Ramos, and I'm part of the customer experience and digital marketing teams at Jazel. I've been in digital media and online marketing for almost 2 decades, working across paid search, display, SEO, social, and overall campaign strategy. Most of my work focuses on leading teams, improving customer engagement, and helping partners strengthen their digital performance through data-driven insights. I'm excited to be here today and to share some practical ideas you can put into action. Joining me is our in-house SEO expert, Robert Varga, who's been compiling all of this information for us. Robert, it's great to have you with us.
Thank you, Brittany. I'm excited to be here. I have been working at Jazel with Brittany for over 10 years, managing search engine optimization and digital marketing campaigns for our clients. But today we're not just talking about SEO, we're going to be diving into GEO or generative engine optimization, which is optimizing your website and digital presence to be cited more by AI large language models or LLMs, as they're commonly referred to, like ChatGPT or Gemini.
Right. And as a quick note, our goal today is to keep this action oriented. We will have you leaving here today with a checklist that you can immediately apply, whether you manage your site in-house or you work with a partner like Giselle.
And just to set some expectations, well, we can't guarantee that you'll get the exact AI answers and citations that you want all the time, um, just because they vary a lot based on the specific prompt, the AI model being used, and what your search context is. What we can do, though, is improve the signals that consistently increase visibility across both Google and AI discovery.
Right. So let's jump into it. Search is changing fast. We still have Google, obviously, but what we're seeing is shoppers using AI assistants like ChatGPT or Gemini to get answers more than ever. That creates a new visibility goal, not just ranking in the usual organic search results page or map pack on Google, but being a trusted source that AI tools choose to reference.
Exactly. We like to think of it like this. So Google is still the map, but ChatGPT, Gemini, and others are becoming the tour guide. So if your content is credible and clear, you have a much better chance of being the place that the tour guide points people to.
I love that analogy. All right. So, like we mentioned before, the newest terminology for this is GEO, or generative engine optimization. It's not a magic switch, it's the combination of signals like authority, clarity, site performance, and content depth that tends to improve your odds of being referenced in AI answers.
Yes, and a lot of this lines up with what strong SEO has always been. So if your website is genuinely helpful, technically solid, and trusted across the web, AI systems have much more of a reason to treat it as a reliable source. It's just that there's now kind of more of these signals than ever before, which can sometimes be a lot to navigate.
Thanks, Robert. So, without further ado, we're going to walk you through 10 practical actions that dealerships can undertake to improve their GEO. Are you ready, Robert?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. First up is authority. Robert, what does that mean actually in plain English for us?
So, authority is basically the internet vouching for you, especially through quality backlinks from many unique websites. And it's not only how many links you have, it's how many reputable domains and how many different ones of those point to you. So for dealerships, this can look like things like local and community coverage, whether that be events, fundraisers, or sponsorships. It could be partner or vendor links, whether that be from the OEM site, from other local businesses that put a link to your site. It could be from the Chamber of Commerce. It can be data-backed content, things that have original insights, And of course, citations from other sites and relevant directories and review platforms, whether that be Google Business Profile, Yelp, Yellow Pages, things like that.
So the goal is be the dealership brand that shows up consistently across the web, not just on your own site, but on credible sites across the web. All right, so this one sometimes surprises people. Traditional SEO still matters for AI visibility.
Yep. So sites that attract more search visitors tend to show up more often in ChatGPT citations. Also, you really don't have to be number one for everything. Pages that rank reasonably well, let's say in the top 10, are going to be much more likely to be referenced than pages that are buried way down in the search results.
Some actions that your businesses can take today are start working towards are growing qualified organic traffic, so not just junk clicks, improve average rankings across topic clusters, not just one-off posts, and strengthen internal linking so your best pages share authority. Okay. So most dealers think only their vehicle detail pages or let's say their inventory pages matter, but there's a nuance here.
Yes, so actually strong organic traffic to your homepage is really kind of one of the biggest and major indicators of brand trust and navigational demand. So that really correlates with being referenced more often by these AI LLMs. So some things that you can do if you really want your homepage to rank is making sure that you have clear positioning, say who you are and what you offer. Make sure you have a strong title, meta description on the page for both your branded information and your core category searches, and then making sure that you are creating helpful internal pathways to your top resources. So, like we said, clear navigation going to things like sales, service, financing, specials, these kind of like high top level pages. And then making sure that you are ensuring technical excellence for your site. So, everything from site speed to making sure it can be easily indexed by search engines to making sure that you have that clean navigation we talked about.
Right. So basically treat the homepage like a high value landing page, your highest value landing page, really, right? Not just a quick
Yes.
billboard. Okay. So on to action 4, depth. Not word count for word count's sake, but actual coverage.
Yes, so AI really tends to prefer pages that feel complete. And Google's actually mentioned this in their most recent algorithm update. So they want to have pages that are the kind that people would bookmark to save and read for later. Um, that means making sure that they're thorough, they have well-supported content, and those will often earn a lot more citations than content that has, that's really thin, that doesn't have, too much on it.
Right. And so we've put together a few practical examples that dealerships could apply that are examples of deep content. So things like how to buy versus lease, which you would want to include things like clear scenarios, calculators, or explanations. Another one is what affects trade-in value, things like steps, examples, and local considerations. And then another would be service interval guides with, models and specific FAQs. Now, even the best info can get ignored if it's hard to read.
That's absolutely correct. So structure really matters. Your formatting is super important, and making sure you're using descriptive headings and subheadings, that'd be your H1s and your H2s. Making sure you're keeping sections substantial enough to answer something fully, but you also just don't want a wall of text. You want it to be easily readable by your users, your customers. So a great pattern to kind of really get into is making sure you have a strong headline that matches the question that the customer is posing. Making sure that you have sections that each deliver a complete thought, including things like lists or steps or short examples. That could be, bullet points. It could be a numbered list, things like that. And making sure that you have those FAQs that mirror really what shoppers are actually asking.
And number 6 is freshness. So what does refresh mean without rewriting the entire site?
So what we're talking about here basically is small, consistent updates that kind of compound to make your site seem fresh to AI LLMs. So whether you're updating those, monthly or something like that, we recommend maybe updating content quarterly is a really solid rhythm to get into. Super important to do.
Right. And this one also still applies to traditional SEO, like you mentioned before.
Right.
So here's a quick refresh checklist as well. Kind of where to start, if you will. Swap in newer stats and figures if and when available. Add a section for emerging trends, things like rates, EV incentives, service tech. Expand FAQs based on what people are asking, and improve internal links to newer supporting content. This one is one of the easiest wins, I would say. Make sure to use question-led titles and add FAQs to your site.
Yes, totally. So question-led titles really align with how people talk to ChatGPT and other AI engines. So some good examples of this include something like, how do I improve my credit before buying a car? Or what do I need to finance a vehicle? Or what is the best time to buy a used car?
And be sure to include an FAQ section in the main page content and not hidden away. It's conversation friendly and helps clarify relevance. All right, so 8 is to maintain third-party trust signals outside your website.
Yes, so AI assistants look for legitimacy beyond your own claims on your website. So they're looking for strong, consistent profiles across review platforms and directories on the web, and those really help out.
So some dealership priorities should be optimizing your Google business profile, making sure your info is correct on industry review sites relevant to auto dealers, be listed on local directories where appropriate, and have listings on partner or vendor marketplaces if applicable.
And by consistency, we mean making sure that your name, your address, your phone number, website, URL, and any kind of product or service categories are correct. So we really want everything aligned.
Right. 9 is technical but important, website performance.
Yeah, so faster sites are often associated with higher likelihood of being cited compared to slower, heavier ones. Plus, a better user experience means better engagement signals. So, some high impact focus areas we would recommend is reducing JavaScript bloat. That can sometimes be a little bit hard if you have a lot of third parties that you need on your site, but kind of doing what you can there. Making sure you're compressing and properly sizing images, making sure that you're improving INP responsiveness. Basically, that means any kind of interaction delays on your pages. Making sure you're optimizing your LCP and FCP scores, so making sure that kind of first meaningful load speed is solid, and then making sure you're kind of monitoring your speed index and these kind of certain categories regularly to kind of manage your improvements.
All right. Now for our last tip, don't over focus on implementing things like LLMS texts.
Right. So adding an LLM's text file is being talked about a lot, but they don't really appear to meaningfully increase citation likelihood compared to really kind of sticking to the fundamentals. They're just kind of not supported by any of the major AI LLMs yet. But of course, if that changes in the future, then that will definitely be something to consider putting in place on your website and probably something we'd recommend. But for the time being, yeah, I'd probably hold off.
So if you're choosing where to put your effort, prioritize what consistently works. Authority and organic visibility, great homepage performance, in-depth, structured, updated content, strong reviews and local presence, and real speed improvements. Okay, so we just went through quite a bit. Here's a recap of the 10 tips that we gave. Authority, Google SEO, homepage strength, deep content, readable structure, quarterly refreshes, question-led titles and FAQs, third-party trust, core web vitals, and don't get distracted by shortcuts.
And I would say, kind of continuing on a recap, if you do nothing else this week, start with these three things that you can kind of get going on. First is pick one high value page and make it deeper and better structured. If you want to do that for your homepage first, like we talked about, that could be good. But any other kind of top level page would be great to start on. The second one I would say is add an FAQ section that is aligned to real questions, whether that be, finance related questions or service related questions. And then the third would be identify one authority opportunity. So trying to get a link from a local PR place, maybe getting a partner link another website, or just doing some directory cleanup, making sure that that name, address, phone number, website URL is listed correctly.
Okay. Now, if you'd like help making any of this real, Jazel can support you with technical SEO, content strategy, performance optimization, review management, managed directory listings, and website improvements designed to both lift Google rankings or traditional SEO and AI visibility. We are offering a free audit so we can review your site, identify some of the biggest areas where GEO and SEO opportunities lie. Um, you can send us a message, visit us on our website. There's plenty of ways to get a hold of us. So any way there, go ahead and do that, and we are happy to help.
Yeah, and we'll make sure to translate that into the dealership language too. So kind of what to fix first, why it matters, and what kind of impact it can actually have for your website.
Okay, so if you have any questions, you can drop them into the chat, and I will try to pull up the chat to see it. But um, Robert here, there's FAQs throughout this webinar. If you hadn't noticed, we mentioned that. And following that theme, Robert has already put together some FAQs for us. So while you guys, if any of you do have questions, pop them in there. We have a few to go over for you. So Robert, can I guarantee that my site shows up in ChatGPT?
No, unfortunately, I would say citations cannot be really guaranteed, but what you can do, and what we really talked about here, was you can increase the odds of having a citation show up in ChatGPT by improving authority, clarity, content depth, and technical performance of your site.
Okay, so should I write content that's specifically for ChatGPT?
I would say no. I would write for people first and then structure it so AI can understand it easily. So, making sure you're using question-led headings, having complete answers, and making sure you're adding those FAQs really helps a lot.
Okay. What pages should a dealership optimize first?
So I would start with, of course, the homepage, but after that, maybe go into any kind of pages that are tied to revenue or high intent, whether that be financing or trade-in pages, service, key models, or any kind of service guides. Making sure that these kind of high value pages where customers are about to, either purchase a vehicle or want to get service, are those are the ones I would focus on first. And then from there, I would say start building supporting blog content around those topic clusters um, to try to make them kind of less of a one-off post.
Into my next one, which is, do blogs really help?
They help if they are strategic and deep. So I would say that 10 thin content blog posts won't be one strong complete resource that like kind of truly answers that question. So making sure that if you're going to do a blog post, you don't want to just do something super short. You want to have something that actually is kind of meaningful and really fully answers a question.
Okay, thank you. And then we have a question over here too. So if we're a current client of Giselle, how do we request an audit for GEO? And
Yeah,
I
so
can answer that too. So you can
yeah.
ask your account manager, or I mean, we can see you here, so we can definitely get that started for you as well. But yeah, any way that you reach out to us is totally fine. So we see you here in the chat. We'll make note of it, and we'll put something together for you. But the good thing is that you are working with Giselle, so you have a leg up. We've been tracking this for quite some time, and it is all new and is evolving, but we're happy to put something together for you, and we'll definitely reach out. So um, that is, let me see, I think that's everything. So Thanks again, Robert, for putting this all together for us and sharing all these
Yeah, thank
wonderful
you.
insights. And thanks to everyone out there joining us. If you want that free audit, like I said, you can grab it using the QR code that we've popped in here, our website, the chat, your account manager if you're a client. Any old way you get out, reach out to us, excuse me, we'll definitely help you. And if you found this helpful, we'll be doing more sessions. Gosh, I'm falling apart at the end here. More sessions like this. So keep an eye out, and we'll be happy to see you again. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.